we have Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, with some breaking news and a breaking story. Great to see you, General Paxton. Share the breaking news with our audience, please.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you and your audience. Yeah, we just filed today. You're the first person I'm talking to. We just filed a lawsuit against State Street Bank, Vanguard, and BlackRock for colluding, buying up shares, large numbers of shares to increase the price of coal by cutting production. They make a lot of money. Unfortunately for consumers, when that occurs, that means that consumers are paying a lot more for energy. And under federal law and some state law, that's illegal. And we were joined by 10 other states in filing this lawsuit today.
Well, that's huge news. So tell us how you came to want to file this and how it affects Texans in particular.
Well, we knew that there was this effort among banks and other large corporations to follow this climate initiative, the Paris Accord, that Trump got away from, that Biden came back to, and it's affecting consumers in all kinds of ways. And we started looking at banking, we started looking at other things. So we're dealing with the banks in Texas, and we're actually stopping some of them from doing business here if they discriminate against energy. But in this case, we realized that this was having a dramatic impact on energy prices, and over a period of time, over the next 10 years, it was going to drive up energy, and people who can least afford it are going to be paying higher energy costs. So we saw the purchase of all these shares and the controlling of through proxy votes of other shareholders, that they were controlling these coal companies and causing them to do the opposite of what you'd expect, which is to produce more and make more. They're doing just the opposite. They're cutting the production. That has a deleterious effect on our economy. It has a deleterious effect on our consumers, and it forces us to buy more energy overseas.
Yeah, I mean, just to have American companies want the price of energy to go higher, I mean, that's criminal. I know that you're suing in a civil way, but I mean, they literally want to break the pocketbook of everyday Americans so that they can make more money. Is this right?
That's exactly right, because it's driving up the price. So they produce less, and yet they're making more on less volume because their margins are stronger, and it has a negative impact on the country. And it's clearly a violation of two different acts, the Clayton Act and the Sherman Act. It also violates our deceptive trade practices in Texas and other state laws. So there's obviously interest, if we have 11 states, in dealing with this and protecting our consumers.
What other states have signed on to this?
I don't have the list in front of me, but it's probably some of the same. Usually we have states like South Carolina and Kansas and Indiana. I don't have the whole list, but that's the type of states that typically are with us.
And this is a big harbinger of things to come. Drill, baby, drill, and a departure from the ESG nonsense. What would President Trump's energy portfolio and program mean for the state of Texas?
Look, I think it's amazing for my state because we produce a lot of energy. We were exporting energy. That was all, a lot of that was cut off by the Biden administration when they shut down the Keystone Pipeline, and then they opened up the Russian pipeline. So the Trump administration did just the opposite. They wouldn't let the Russian pipeline open. They opened up ours and allowed us for the first time, I think, at least in many, many, many years, decades, to become energy independent. That's good for Texas. That's good for the whole country. Instead of buying energy from some of our enemies, we're now buying energy from ourselves, and we're exporting. We're making money off of it. It's all good. There's no downside to this. Unfortunately, for the last 4 years, it's been a fight with the Biden administration. They've gone the opposite direction. They've enabled our enemies and hurt us.